Canada is a nation founded under the fundamental principle of the supremacy of Parliament. In other words, we rule ourselves. But the Liberals are, right now, attacking this principle, and for them, this is nothing new. Supremacy of Parliament means that we pass laws for ourselves. It is not the courts that pass laws. It is not the courts that tell us what the laws mean. We, as a free people, make our own decisions with the laws that we pass in Parliament. Our parliaments are the highest authority in the nation. In 1982, Canada got a new constitution, and Section 33 of the Charter of Rights and Freedoms was included. That has come to be referred to as the Notwithstanding Clause. It says that Parliament can temporarily override some provisions in the Constitution. Pierre Trudeau was trying to push through the acceptance of a new constitution, and so he had to compromise. Wise politicians at the provincial level saw the need for a safeguard from federal overreach and from judicial overreach. Without the Notwithstanding Clause, they never would have signed on to the new constitution. Trudeau hated the Notwithstanding Clause, but he had no choice but to accept it. So what would the use of this clause look like in real life? Well, for example, a court can declare a certain law unconstitutional, and in many cases our parliaments accept this. But if we, the free citizens of Canada, disagree with the court through our elected representatives, we can override it. But let's make this more concrete. Polygamy is illegal in Canada, but nobody is ever charged with it. Why not? Because governments are terrified there would be a court challenge and the courts would make polygamy legal. And if it were not for the Notwithstanding Clause, that would be the end of the story. But because of the clause, parliaments could overrule the courts and restore sanity. Back when Jean Chrétien was helping to negotiate the Constitution, he raised the prospect of courts ruling that child pornography was in fact freedom of expression. Only the Notwithstanding Clause would protect us from such judicial overreach. Or here's another example. What if we, the people of Canada, get tired of criminals getting a slap on the wrist, and we demand that Parliament pass mandatory minimum sentencing laws? Courts will hate this because it takes the power away from them, and so they will strike down such a law. And in a case like this, it's only the Notwithstanding Clause that would protect us from judicial overreach. But where does that leave us today? Quebec has passed a secularization law demanding certain types of public servants not wear religious symbols. Personally, I find this law abhorrent. But it's important to the people of Quebec. Quebec has said they will use the Notwithstanding Clause, and so the Liberals have asked the Supreme Court to strike down Section 33 of the Charter. And I find this even worse than Quebec's law. Think of it this way. The Liberals are not proposing to change the Constitution. Instead, they are asking the courts to increase the power of the courts, and I find that completely unacceptable. The provinces will not accept this. Quebec certainly will not. Alberta has declared themselves in favor of Quebec's rights. Here's what Danielle Smith has to say on the matter. Saskatchewan as well. Premier Moe has released this statement. And think of it this way. The provinces only signed on to the Constitution if it included the Notwithstanding Clause. Now the Liberals are trying to take it away. Mark Carney is launching a new national unity crisis because he wants to fight the original battle that Pierre Trudeau quite rightfully lost. Canadians need the Notwithstanding Clause. Provinces demand it, and Mark Carney's Liberals are failing us. What are your thoughts on this? Please leave a comment or subscribe to my channel to keep me making original content. Thank you.